Meet Dave is a 2008 American science fiction comedy film about a spaceship that looks exactly like a human and is controlled by 100 tiny human-looking aliens. After arriving on Earth, the aliens have a mission which they must complete, but things don't go as straight as they hope, as their captain starts to enjoy his time on Earth, and more so takes a liking to the people on Earth. The movie starts with a small bright object traveling towards the Earth. After hitting a satellite on its way, the object starts falling straight down towards Earth. At the same time, a boy named Josh Morrison stares through his telescope and observes the object falling from space. Interestingly, the ball flies through Josh's window and lands in his fishbowl. Josh is surprised to see the ball has fallen from outer space and tells his mother all about it, but his mother ignores it by saying he has a really vivid imagination. But Josh knows for sure this object is from outer space. And doesn't this fish look a lot similar to Eddie Murphy, or is it just me? Moving on. 3 months later, something else is seen flying down towards the Earth, and this time, it's much bigger than what we saw earlier and lands right in front of the Statue of Liberty. As soon as the fire burns away, it is seen that it actually appears to be an adult man in a white suit. But no, don't be fooled, it's an alien spaceship designed to look like a human. The alien spaceship makes its way into the city and starts to walk in a really unusual way. It looks like it is just trying to adjust to life and surroundings on Earth. It just absorbs everything that it sees and tries to imitate or put into its database. Suddenly, it gets hit by a car while crossing the road. Interestingly, the person driving the car is Josh's mom, Jenna Morrison. She quickly gets out of her car to help but is astonished as the man appears to be unharmed. It just has a twisted leg, but everything else seems alright. In order to not draw any more attention to itself, the alien spaceship quickly escapes when Jenna gets busy trying to call the ambulance. Later, we see the alien spaceship strangely walking in a back alley. One of his ears opens like a gate and a tiny humanoid alien jumps out of it using a tiny rope. It reaches towards the spaceship's leg and presses a button which opens up another gate with a lot of wires inside. The tiny alien finds that some of the wires are defective due to the car accident. So now we know for sure that this is an alien spaceship, which is being controlled by 100 tiny human-looking aliens. They got a whole crew of tiny aliens working on the spaceship and making it function like a real human. The crew members inside the spaceship are known with numbers. The captain of the ship is called Number 1, and I believe the captain took the privilege of making the spaceship look exactly like him. Anyway, Number 1 is the one who pilots the spaceship from the command deck. He has Number 2 as his assistant, and there's Number 3, the spaceship system in charge. The rest of the aliens are responsible for making different parts of the spaceship function properly as a real human. Through a report, the captain is acknowledged about the breakdown of the ship due to the accident. The system engineer informs the captain that the repair could take them 2 or 3 days. The captain gathers all the crew members for the meeting in order to repair the ship as soon as possible. In the meeting, they disclose that they are from the planet called Nil, which is facing a serious energy crisis. And their only hope for survival is salt, a lot of salt which is available on Earth. So, they're here on a mission to drain Earth's ocean using the metal ball called Orb, which we saw earlier. But to complete their mission, they must find the Orb, which is with Josh. Luckily, Josh isn't far away from them, as he notices the weird man in the back alley. Later, Jenna sees the spaceship and immediately goes to see it and apologizes, believing that it's a normal human being. Upon Gina and Josh's arrival, the aliens start to panic, as it's their first ever face-to-face encounter with a human being. They don't know how to communicate. The miniature aliens quickly do a quick Google search to learn how to communicate with Jenna. After Josh leaves for school, Jenna invites Dave to her home, where he walks around exploring the new environment. Moreover, when Gina hands him a glass of water to drink, the entire mouth crew gets drowned. And oh look, there's Kevin Hart as number 17. When Jenna asks for his name, the aliens do a quick scan of the most common human names and come up with Ming Cheng. Jenna gets confused as to how an African male can have a Chinese name. So Number 1 quickly improvises that his first name is Dave and last name is Ming Cheng. So now we have a name for this spaceship. It's Dave Ming Cheng. But for the purpose of this video, we'll call him Dave. As he's observing everything around, Dave suddenly spots a picture of Josh with the same lost metal ball, the Orb. Through Dave's eyes, the crew members see the photo and are excited to find the ball. The crew members of the ship immediately track Josh's location, who is in his school at the moment. After excusing himself out of Gina's house, Dave begins on his journey to meet Josh. On their journey, number 2, who is a bit short-tempered, gets infuriated seeing humans breaking the rules. He believes that humans are the worst species in the galaxy. Seeing this unnecessary rage, number 1 asks the doctor to keep a check on number 2. On Dave's way to Josh's school, the kids think that he is an ice cream man due to his getup and try to reach him for ice cream. Exasperated by this, Dave rushes to a shopping mall to change his look. He picks up a set of shirts and pants for himself, but does not have the money to buy them. So he uses the scanner installed in one of his hands to scan the money. He then goes to the dressing room and excretes the same prints from his body. With the freshly printed money, Dave buys the clothes and puts them on. Dave then goes to Josh's school, where he pretends to be a substitute teacher and eventually is able to talk to Josh alone. He asks Josh about the ball. Josh tells him that the ball was taken from him by a bully. Dave inquires Josh about that boy's whereabouts. After not finding the bully, Dave and Josh return home and enjoy each other's company while playing video games, and Dave is just crushing it. In the meantime, Jenna arrives home and is happy to see Dave. She insists on him staying for dinner. Inside the ship, the captain via Dave agrees to stay at Jenna's place because the police are in search of him and it's best for Dave to stay in the house. Meanwhile, a cop named Dooley tries to assess what could have landed on Liberty Island. At the crash site, he discovers Dave's facial expressions imprinted in the dirt. Through the impressions, Dooley believes that an alien has landed on Earth. After having dinner, Jenna shows Dave her house. Walking through the passage, Dave notices a painting there. Dave seems strangely attracted to the painting. Jenna explains to Dave that the painting depicts emotion and warmth. Hearing this explanation, Dave questions Jenna, how do we know that we are in love? Jenna tells him that there is no particular sign to it. She says that when we fall in love, we just feel it automatically. Dave is amazed to hear this, and he leaves the house immediately. He has nowhere else to go, so he spends the night on the roadside. He keeps thinking of what Jenna said to him about love. Just then, a homeless man covers him with a blanket to help him stay warm in the cold. The captain is moved by this gesture. He can feel the kindness of humans. All the aliens in the ship start to realize that humans are much better than they thought. Inside the ship, the doctor reports to the captain about some unusual behaviors that he has been observing among the aliens of the ship. It seems the aliens have started to enjoy their time on Earth, or they're rather influenced by it. The captain then goes to the control room and finds number 3 working till late. She tells the captain that she has been searching all day long and finally found an American emotional movie that every human has seen once in their lifetime. The captain agrees to watch the movie, and the movie is It's a Wonderful Life. They both cry watching the movie and believe it's nonsense how someone could lasso a moon. But they both felt some emotion which they haven't before. The next morning, Dave wakes up. Since he is practically a machine, his battery has gotten quite low, 20% to be specific. Dave goes to meet Josh, who takes him and Gina to an amusement park. At the amusement park, Josh insists Dave and Gina take a train ride with him. During the train ride, Josh and Gina enjoy a lot, but not certainly Dave, whose insides were moving crazily. And by insides, I mean the 100 tiny humanoid aliens. Thankfully, the ride stops, and then Dave participates in the hot dog eating competition. Since Dave doesn't have a stomach, he wins the competition and gets a soft toy as a reward, which he gives to Gina. After enjoying the amusement park, Dave notices some kids bullying Josh outside the park. Dave rushes to save Josh and punishes the kid by turning him upside down. Just as he turns the boy upside down, the orb falls from his pocket, and Dave instantly picks it up. All the crew members of the ship are happy to finally find the missing ball, which can save their planet. Even after getting the orb, the captain still wants to spend more time on Earth, and moreover he finds out that it's actually Jenna's birthday, so he calls for a celebration. Number 2 does not support this and asks the captain to focus on their mission. But the captain refuses to listen to him because he thinks that Gina and Josh helped them find the orb, so he owes them at least a dinner. After spending so much time on Earth, Dave via the crew members begins to exhibit new feelings, adopting Earth's principles, gestures, and lazy attitude. If you remember, number 2 has some serious anger issues and he hates humans, and he is just enraged to see his crew members acting like humans. Meanwhile, number 3 dresses up glamorously since she is infatuated with the captain and wants to share a dance with him. Captain refuses to dance with her because he is busy controlling Dave, assisting him at the dinner with Jenna. Seeing this, number 3 feels jealous and leaves the control room. Meanwhile, the police track Dave down at the restaurant using the impressions of his face found in the dirt at the crash site, and they arrest him. Number 2 is enraged because the captain has just compromised their mission by wasting time with humans. So he asks the army and the ship to join hands with him in order to overthrow the captain and save their mission. All the crew members as well as Number 3 side with Number 2, leaving the captain alone. Number 2 takes command of the ship while imprisoning the captain. At the police station, Dave gets questioned why his face was on the crash site. While Dooley is 100% certain that Dave is an alien, his partner doesn't seem too amused by the idea. With the ship under his control, Number 2 has Dave's hand transform into a pistol and breaks out of the police station. Number 2 gets out of control and isn't scared to hurt any humans. Kevin Hart knows this is crazy, so he jumps out of the ship. Number 2 commands Dave to move forward to fulfill his mission while destroying the police station. Number 3 then starts to realize that supporting Number 2 was a mistake. She goes to the room where the actual captain is imprisoned and releases him. Unfortunately, both are caught by Number 2 and are expelled from the spaceship through Dave's nose. On Earth, these tiny humanoids are faced with many challenges. First, the dogs and cats try to pee on them, and later the kids almost crush them while playing football. Finally, Number 2 and the captain find a plastic bag which they use as a hot air balloon to reach the ship. Out of nowhere, the bag sticks to the windscreen wiper of a bus, which luckily turns out to be helpful for them since the wiper works as a launcher, throwing both of them onto their ship. Just then, the captain apologizes to Number 3 for being a prick. He admits that he too loves her, but he just didn't know how to show it. After both of them get done confessing their love for each other, they get inside the ship. In the meantime, on Number 2's commands, Dave stops a taxi to go to Liberty Island because he wants to save his energy. On the other hand, Josh convinces his mother Gina that Dave isn't capable of doing such inhuman tasks and asks her to help Dave. Just then, the police officer, Dooley, finds alien Number 17 in his cup of coffee. Number 2 takes Dave to the port, where he tries to throw the orb into the ocean, but is stopped by the captain and Number 3, who are overriding the ship's system. They convince the rest of the crew that the real captain is back in charge, and the crew who have witnessed how dangerous Number 2 can be decide to go back in Number 1's command. Reinstated, the captain orders Number 2 to be stuck in the ship's butt forever. The captain then decides to cancel the plan to drain the oceans because it would destroy life on Earth. Everyone in the ship gets on board with this, as they all have begun to like Earth and the people living on it. Unfortunately, the orb has already fallen and is currently draining the ocean. But the crew all work hard to retrieve the orb back and send it back towards their planet. However, there's bad news. The ship is out of battery, which means the tiny aliens are now stuck on Earth and will not return back to their own planet. Just then, Dooley and his partner reach the port and point their guns at Dave. Since Dave has no energy left, his powers are of no use. Josh tries to convince the police officers that Dave is innocent, but no one pays heed to it. Afraid the aliens might get killed, Josh grabs Dooley's taser and attempts to use it on Dave to recharge him. Fortunately, it works and the spaceship is all charged up again. The captain and Number 3 reveal themselves to the police officers through Dave's mouth. The captain introduces himself and thanks Jen and Josh, along with other humans, for teaching them so many lessons on love, compassion, and fun. The captain says his final goodbye to Josh and Gina. Dooley also sends Number 17 back to the spaceship. Dave prepares to fly back to his planet, but just then a team from the FBI arrives and throws a net over Dave. But Dave's crew evacuates to one of the ship's detachable shoes like a lifeboat. They activate the engines, detach the shoe, and head to their planet, Nil, leaving behind both the ship and Number 2. While in the lifeboat, the captain proposes Number 3 for marriage, and the film ends with both of them kissing. And that's the end of the video. If you enjoyed this video, let me know by liking this video and leaving a comment. I personally enjoyed this movie, and there's a lot of things that I haven't shown in this video. So I recommend you go and watch the movie to get the full jokes and everything. Take care and goodbye until we meet again in another video.